Got it. We are live, gentlemen and ladies as well. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Yes, live from Miami, correct. Yes, I'm there, live. Beautiful. Good morning, everybody. Beruchim Habaim. Wednesday, the 17th day of Shevat, corresponding to January 23rd. Today, special breakfast and class, graciously sponsored Le'ilui Nishmat, Yosef ben Atar ben Hasive. Be'ezat Hashem, the zechut of the berachot that everybody will recite, as well as the words of Torah, will be an elevation to the soul. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to speak about a few topics today, Be'ezat Hashem, time allowing. I'd like to give the kavod first to Rabbi Chaim Palachi, alav shalom, that today happens to be his Hilula. Rabbi Chaim Palachi was a great Sephardic rabbi who passed away, I believe, 1858 in Turkey. He wrote over 70 Sefarim in all levels of Torah. And I read the biography earlier about him, and it says that one of his ultimate ways of being as a person was an individual who never raised his voice at home, which is a mega challenge. There are people who raise their voice daily. In his entire life, he never raised his voice. He always pursued peace and harmony at home. He invested great amount of moments during the day to be with his children, to teach them how to read, to teach them Torah, to listen to the Birkot HaShachar, that's what it says. And anyone, and he was the Acham Bashi of Turkey, Izmir, right? The head rabbi, so to speak. He was connected to the government to the point that the government gave him permission to put in jail those Yehudim who didn't behave properly, including imposing financial fines for those individuals that were aggressive verbally. If there was a dispute among people, imagine yourself, I don't think that in America this will fly, but at least in those days, 1858, back in Turkey, this was the power of this great Talmid Chacham that obviously, you know, I received a video clip from someone who traveled to Izmir yesterday to go and pray in the kever of the great rabbi, and he sent me a video of the knis in Izmir, something scary. Under every seat of the synagogue, there is a helmet, that if God forbid there is some kind of challenging moments with enemies of Am Israel, people will be able to put on a helmet and be somehow protected physically. I'm only sharing this to let you know what's happening today in the 2019. So, we have a concept that whenever we have the Hilula or a Yortzeit of great Tzaddikim, we try to share some words in order to connect with them. As the Pelei Yoez writes, a pasuk from Shir Hashirim that says, Dover Siftei Yeshenim, the movement of the lips of those that are resting, those that are sleeping. Who is Shlomo HaMelech referring to? The Tzaddikim. As the Gemara writes, Tzaddikim b'mitatam nikraim hayim. The righteous, even though they are right, they never die. Even though that they are physically gone from the world, definitely they are alive and well spiritually. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Hacham Yaakov Nakach from Mexico. Baruch haba, Hacham. There is a chair waiting for you. Please, Abishu. Make sure the rabbi has a seat. Mr. Franco, thank you so much. Very kind of you. Hazau Baruch. You learn well. Hazau Baruch. Beautiful gesture. Thank you. So, I want to combine Rabbi Chaim Palachi's writing in Moed Kol Chai that talks about the period of the Shovavim. You heard this word several times. If you have been learning Hokle Israel for many years, you're familiar with this topic. But I repeat it because there is always new customers. Shovavim Tat this year. Shovavim is the acronym of 6 Perashiot of the Jewish calendar. The first letter of the following Perashiot. Shemot, Va'era, Bo, Beshalach, Itro, Mishpatim. This year we have double Perashiot bonus, Teruma, Tesaveh. Hence we have 8 weeks in the calendar this year that we are given an opportunity, like a bonus round, so to speak, to repair sins that we may have made as men. Not only the lack of observance of family purity, but even a topic which is not pleasant to speak about it publicly, but is a topic that we must speak about, because at the end of the men, although that there are ladies watching and listening to this class, but I'm talking physically to an all-male audience. The topic of Pegam HaBerit literally means when a person is not careful with the Berit Milah, literally creating sins with the hands, or as we learned yesterday, with the eyes. So now that we understand that wasting zera, it's a serious avon from the Torah. So now we becoming aware that whatever we may have done in the past was wrong. So what do we do to repair the sin? There is teshuvah for everything. Or we like to say better, for most of our averot, there is teshuvah. There are certain teshuvah levels that are easier to do than others. There are certain levels of teshuvah, as the Rambam writes, that a person needs to go through hardship, challenges. I don't want to say more. And only the day that they leave the world, maybe the tikkun is made. But I'm not going to make it so dark or challenging. But he gives us 54 tips to remedy spiritual deficiencies or sins or mistakes done with the Berit Milah. I'm not going to cover today 54 because 10 o'clock will arrive and I will only be done with 4 or 5. So if you allow me today, thank you, I will concentrate on a handful of them which are easy to understand, simple to explain, and super easy to execute them. So he begins with the concept of going to the mikveh. Baruch Hashem, today going to the mikveh is very easy. Sometimes it takes you time to decide which mikveh should I go to. That's the reality of life. And Baruch Hashem, all over the world, mikvaot are being built. And we know that a wife, obviously, or a bride, prior to getting married, they go to the mikveh. So the ladies must go to a mikveh in order to purify themselves from niddah. What about a man? How does a man purifies their body? So there are 3 options. Going to the mikveh for a man, beautiful. But let's be honest. How many men, and you don't have to answer me, how many men really go to the mikveh on a regular basis? Maybe some do. But most that go to the mikveh, they go to the mikveh Erev Shabbat, Erev Yom Tov, Erev Kippur. But what about during the week? Many men don't go, although there are men who do go. There are many men who go to the mikveh during the time of Shovavim, during these weeks of the year. There was a tradition, including in Halab and others, that they used to do Ta'anit, Shovavim, Monday and Thursday. Today, many people don't do this fasting, but halachically, if a person wants to fast these 8 weeks, Mondays and Thursdays, you're welcome to do so. Obviously, between the normal halachic parameters. If you're going to fast and you're not going to be able to pray and to learn properly, don't fast because it's not a mandatory. Another concept done in Brooklyn, which is done also in many places in the world, Ta'anit Dibur. What is Ta'anit Dibur? The reading of 3 consecutive times the book of Tehillim, right, Hacham? That's 450 chapters. plus you read the first 8 chapters, so you read 458 chapters of the Tehillim without talking. Hacham Shaul Kassin alav shalom, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, used to send a letter to all the synagogues. This Sunday will be Tikkun Shovavim. It's not easy to read 3 consecutive times the book of Tehillim. Here we do that Miami style. We split the book of Tehillim, we done in 15 minutes instead of 7 hours. All the Tikkun Shovavim, we do it here. B'ezrat Hashem, Sunday, February 10th, we do the special Tikkun Shovavim of the Ben Ish Chai and the Rashash. You do a special prayer, you blow the shofar, you do hakafot, you give tzedakah. In other words, there are certain prayers that we can do. And B'ezrat Hashem will talk about them later. But what happens if a person cannot go to the mikveh? You shower. For how long? Tish'at kabim. Tish'at kabim is approximately 2 to 3 minutes under the shower. Today is easy. Baruch Hashem, every home has a shower. You turn on the shower, you want spray, you want jet, you want massage, you want slow, warm, medium, and all body surrounding sound of shower. You know the shower that the water comes from the side? Right, all the jets activated. That's Gan Eden. But what happens if there is no shower available? How do you purify yourself if there is no shower? Huh?
The snow.
You say go to the snow. But we'll discuss now the interesting this is found in the Chaim Palachi, the concept known as Tevilat Yadayim. Tevilat Yadayim. If you want to see the full version, look in the Ben Ish Chai in Perasha Nisavim, when he talks about a fellow that cannot go to the mikveh Erev Kippur. Okay? Erev Kippur, there is a great concept going to the mikveh. So there is a concept in the halakha called Netilat Yadayim 40 times. I will explain this slowly so everybody can understand and follow. I know that this is hot water, so I'm not going to try this with the cup that has hot water. I'm going to make believe, especially for the video audience, how to do Netilat Yadayim 40 times. So the Ben Ish Chai brings a whole introduction, a special Shem Yehud, that a person should say. Some people have it accessible or not, but let's make that you don't have it accessible. But still you can do this at home. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to do it. And faster if you have 2 Netilat Yadayim cups. If you have 1 Netilat Yadayim cup, it takes you longer. If you have 2, it's easier. So it says, first, you will do 10 sets of Netilah. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. All together 20 times. Sirugim. Then you do 10 times to the right. Then 10 times to the left. So we had 20 in the beginning, 30, 40. After you finish that, you dry your hands, and then you're going to say a pasuk of Tehillim that is found also in Birkat HaLevana. What is this pasuk? Lev tahor bera li Elokim beruach nachon hadesh bekirbi. I think that comes from Tehillim, chapter 32, maybe 22, Mehillah. 50, you sure? 51? 51? Double check, please. Okay, 51, 42, 22, sounds like a blackjack. Okay, so what chapter? 51. Hazau Baruch. Thank you. So we have Lev Tahor. So, the Ben Ish Chai, let's explain this pasuk. Lev Tahor, a pure heart, Bera li Elokim. The Creator created in me. Beruach nachon, and a spirit of goodness, hadesh bekirbi, renew inside of me. The Ben Ish Chai says, if you look at the first 3 words, lev, tahor, Bira, we have the letter Tet, the letter Bet, the letter Lamed. This gives you the word Taval of Tevilah. And then you have Aleph, Bet, Resh. Aleph, Bet, Resh. Taval, ever. Washing your hands 40 times is that you put your ever, your milah, into the mikveh. That's the reason why after the washing you will say this particular pasuk from chapter 51, you said, right? Hazal Baruch, 51 of Tehillim. I didn't check, I take his word for it. 7 times.
What about the kavanah?
Okay. You want the full version. I said, that's why I gave a disclosure before. I said the full version is to look into the prayer and be mechaven. But not everybody has access to the books of the Ben Ish Hai or the Siddur of the Ben Ish Hai. So I'm giving you at least the practical action. That's what number 1 that it says. Bimhu bo bayom. And if a person does this ceremonial washing on the very same day, nimhak he'avon legambre. We wiping out that sin made accidentally or even intentionally. And it says, continues, Behalaf halaf hamazik shenivra meosa'at zera levatala. And by purifying our hands, that negative angel created by the sin that we committed, it's completely erased. Beautiful gift. Number 2, Keriyat Shema bechavana. Reciting the Shema properly. Why? Because Keriyat Shema is all about Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shamayim, Ahavat Hashem, Irat Hashem, and Mizvot. Keriyat Shema is the package of a Jew. Faith in Hashem, connecting with Hashem, loving Hashem, serving Hashem, and not doing averot. So the more kavanah the Shema contains, the more irat shamayim the person has. Number 3, can you have a siddur? Oh, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. In the Amidah, this siddur does not have it. This neither. Now we need to switch the topic. Now I'm holding in my hands Siddur Avodat HaKodesh. For those who understand about prayer books, this is a heavy-duty Siddur. Why do I say heavy-duty Siddur? Because it contains a lot of spiritual and Kabbalistic thoughts when it comes to the topic of prayer. Now, I'm going to move on. Avodat HaKodesh. Very beautiful Siddur. Very beautiful Siddur. But I repeat, I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy the Siddur. Okay? But now we give free promotion to a Siddur. Okay? This Siddur is a Siddur that those who understand Hebrew will truly benefit from the footnotes and the Kabbalistic explanations of the Siddur. So thank you so much for giving me the Siddur, because now I'm going to expand a bit on this topic. This is the Beracha in the Amidah that we say, Teka b'shofar gadol lecherutenu. For those watching, Teka b'shofar gadol lecherutenu. You read this blessing. This Beracha has a lot of things. Number 1, we asking Hashem, the sound of the great shofar of Mashiach. Teka b'shofar. Shofar, we asking Borei Olam, God, we want to listen the shofar of Mashiach. Beautiful. Besanes lekabez galuyotenu. And since we asking for Mashiach, we asking us to be gathered from the 4 corners of the world. But listen what it mehila. To gather us from the galut. Bekabesenu yahad. Me'arba gamfot ha'ares le'arsenu, and gather us together from the 4 corners of the world to the land of Israel. Baruch atah Hashem Mekabes nithe amo Israel, the one that gathers those that are far from the Jewish nation. This blessing, if you read between the lines, there is a hidden message in this blessing that the person can redeem the drops of zera that were wasted. What I'm going to say now is for the heavyweights, but since I'm looking around the crowd, I think you can handle it. I think I'm going to say a beracha on something first to come down to the physical world. But it's only water, not arak, matal. It's water. I know, you want to check it out, I know. Al Shalom. Baruch אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. Amen. Now, before I explain this, I need to give a brief introduction. And whenever the rabbi says introduction, it could be a Megillah. But I'm going to try to keep it short and concise. It's a known fact that the zera of a man is the life of the man. The life, the essence. And that's our future, the making of a child. Yesterday, in the Hawk, we learned an interesting concept. The power of the power of the mind. That there is a direct connection between the mind and the zera of the person. And that's why we mentioned yesterday how important is not only to have pure thoughts and clean thoughts when we are doing the mitzvah with our wives, obviously, but also we need to be careful what we look at during the day, so we don't have negative or forbidden thoughts. So what happens when, God forbid, a person manually, has v'shalom, releases the zera? Not because the husband is doing the mitzvah with his wife. He has a nisayon, God forbid, and does this avon with his hands. That person created now negative forces. Barano mashhid lehabel. These are not regular forces. These are forces that become the enemy of the person. That's the reason why. I'm going to take a detour. I'm going to come back. You know that in Israel and in many communities in the world, when a father, has v'shalom, passes away, the sons don't go. Farvus. Why not? For this avon. For this reason. Because when a father is buried, the children that were born escort him. But the children that were not born also escort him. So now we have an issue. We have the dead body in the middle. You have the son standing. The visible physical sons are alive. But the invisible sons that never became a physical child because of sins committed, now we have an issue. Fight, envy, jealousy. So the tradition is the sons stay away. Only when the body is lowered and the coffin is covered, that's when they tell the sons to come back. So now we're going to learn a formula that through Teshuvah, a person can redeem these drops that were wasted. And that's what it says. Bekabesenu yahad me'arba kanfot. There is a Kabbalistic thought that a person needs to have. If you look in the Siddur, you have the Het, the Bet, and the Vav. Rashi Tevot, Habu. Or it says, Hail, Bala, Bayakienu, Mibitno Yorishenu Kel. This is a pasuk from Iyov, I believe, that says, Hail means the strength. Bala was absorbed by the negative forces, by Yakienu, and they release it back. Mibitno, from your organs, Yorishenu Kel. What does it mean? Here it says a special Yehira son. Now, if you use a heavyweight Siddur, it's easy because it's in front of you. But what happens if you use a different Siddur that doesn't have it? I'm going to explain this prayer quickly, and just remember the main point of this prayer. I'm going to read it loud to the Kahal. May it be the will of the Almighty that all this of the neshamot that were wasted by the drops of zera that were thrown out not in the moment of intimacy, and now they were captured by the forces of unholiness, please return them back to the original essence of spirituality. This is the concise translation of this prayer. So when we say this prayer in the Amidah, a person should say, God forgive me for the sin of wasting zera, please return them back to Kedusha. Short and sweet. And you don't have to say this statement every day of your life. But there are twice a year that a person should say it. Number one, these 8 weeks of Shovavim. Because this is the time of amnesty. Can you relate to amnesty? Forgiveness. Now the forgiveness goes on an express lane, or Sun Pass, or Easy Pass in New York, right? Easy Pass without paying at all. Amnesty of tickets. Can you imagine? Unbelievable. We fly in first class, paying coach. Because you're already praying. You're already saying Tekah b'shofar gadol lecherutenu, but now you're adding a bonus statement. Borei Olam, please, like you're going to gather all the Jewish people from the 4 corners of the world, gather all the forgotten invoices, open balances that I have in this particular area. This is fascinating. So these 8 weeks is the prime time. But there is one more. Once a week on a Friday. Why Friday? Because Friday is the day of the week connecting to Yosef HaSaddik. Yesod. The Yesod. Yesod is the 6th Sephirah from the 7. We have 10 Sephirot, 3 intellectual, 7 emotional. Chesed, Geburah, Tiferet, Nesa, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. So Fridays are connected to the Yosef HaSaddik. Guess what? The Zechut of Yosef HaSaddik lends us a hand to achieve forgiveness. I know that this is heavy what I'm saying, but I think that it's clear enough thanks to Rabbi Chaim Palachi that he says. And it says, Belitpalel bechavana. And pay attention, Hacham, good seeing you, Baruch haba. And pray with concentration. And now he adds one more bonus. One more bonus. And for that, I need to go back in the Amidah. Tekah v'shofar, have the kavanah on Fridays. What beracha comes before Tekah v'shofar? Barech alenu, before. Barech alenu. What is Barech alenu for? Parnasa. Right? Barech alenu is בעת השנה הזאת, ותנתה ומרתה לברכה, ושבע את העולם כולו מטובח, ומלא ידינו בברכותיך, מעושר מתנות ידיך. For everyone listening, every sentence that I just read is all about blessings. You should have rain, you should have blessing in your fields, everything that you do should be bountiful, should be an exorbitant amount of abundance for everyone, and may everybody be a recipient of the blessings, the wealth, and the gifts that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to deliver for us. Beautiful blessing, correct? Now, let's read the second part of this. So now, we don't want only blessing. I want blessing, but I also need protection. Because the moment that I have beracha, I need protection. Where do we learn this from? Birkat Kohanim. Yevarechecha Hashem beishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ask Rashi, Beishmerecha, if God already blessed me, what kind of protection do I need? It says you need protection that the beracha that Hashem gave you should not be a situation of danger. Let's say you hit the lottery. Now you have Hashem's blessings. But guess what? You better move out. Change your phone number. Keep a low profile. Haz v'shalom. Or Hashem bless you. Successful business. Now you want to invest. You want to play like the big boys. You invest and you can say Kaddish on your money. Haz v'shalom. Okay? It happens. It happens all over the world. Okay? So that's the blessing of Yevarechecha Hashem Beishmerecha. Let's see this in the Amidah. Shombra. Protect. Behasila. And save. Shanazo mikol davar ra. From any hardship. Could be weather. Could be hurricanes. Could be fires. Could be collapsing of the financial system. Which, God forbid, sometimes we see the stock market. ICU, Tehiyat HaMetim, Hatzala, Hebra Kadisha, real estate collapsing. Remember 2008? Yeah. The bubble that collapsed? And now comes the tefillah and it says, Umikol mine mashhit. And from any kind of mashhit is destructor, a destroyer. In the Selihot, in the Vidui, listen to the sentence. Same words. Shihatnu zera lebatala ubaranu mashhit lehabel. All these words are very common in the Israeli newspapers. Habel means a terrorist. So look in the Vidui of the Selihot. Shihatnu, we wasted, we destroyed zera, seed, semen, levatala, for no purpose. And I need to clarify to the audience, because I have mixed age present. Somebody may be listening to this class, or watching me now live, and they said, Rabbi, so it means that because my wife cannot get pregnant, we need to keep a distance? Never again husband and wife can be intimate? Haz v'shalom. As long that the zera goes into the body of the wife, there is no issue of zera levatala, even though she cannot get pregnant. In other words, affection between husband and wife and intimacy is not 100% all the time about getting pregnant. What if the person's wife reaches a certain age that getting pregnant is long gone? There is a mitzvah from the Torah on affection, intimacy. So as long as that we do things properly, even though she doesn't get pregnant, but the zera goes into her body, nothing for us to worry about. That's why preservatives are forbidden to be used. If you understand the language, what a preservative means, something that you buy in the market or whatever, made out of rubber or plastic, asur to wear. Why? Because that creates a mechitza, a distance between the milah of the husband and the wife. And that's called wasting zera as well. Even medically speaking, and I'm sorry if I jump, but it's all related to the same topic. When I mean medically speaking, I'm referring to a situation that, God forbid, husband and wife are married for a few years and they're not able to bring children to the world. So what do you do in that case? There is a treatment, there are many treatments. One of them is IVF, in vitro fertilization. But you need to do that with rabbinical guidance of how to avoid the avon of zera levatala. and how to make sure that the laboratory is using your zera and not someone else's. And make sure that they don't keep the balance of what you gave as a sample. I'm telling you this from rabbinical experience because we have done it many times here. And I'm sure that in Brooklyn they have it also. In Panama they have it, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, any place that there is a good Jewish community, the rabbis, Baruch Hashem, educate the Kahal how to do this procedure, which unfortunately sometimes is the hishtadlut that a person needs to make. I'm only bringing these two last topics just not to say that once the wife cannot get pregnant, mechitza. No, Haz v'shalom. Continue. We say, umikol mine mashchit, and any kind of enemy. So you know what Rabbi Chaim Palachi says? That when we say this word, mashchit, we should have kavanah also of the negative angels created by this particular avon. And you may say, Rabbi, why do we make such a big deal about this topic? Isn't it true that every time a Jew makes a sin, it creates a negative angel? Correct. But there is a difference. One malach could be created, negative malach. Let's say a person ate without saying berachot. Or a person called out a name to another person in a derogatory manner, something inappropriate, something disrespectful. That is an avon from the Torah. No rabbinical. Lo tonu ish et amito. It's a prohibition of cursing, mistreating people verbally. But when it comes to zera levatala, you know why the topic is so serious? Because in the zera, there is not only Hashem's DNA, but there are nefashot of souls that are embedded into the zera of the husband. I know that I'm moving on to the deeper level than what the way it was before. So now, a drop of zera says, Uli, you wasted me. I could have been someone. I could have become a baby. Have the potential. Now you wasted my life. Haz v'shalom. That's the reason of the severity of this topic. Now, one more. This is going to be easy. Now you can breathe. You can remove the seatbelt. You can remove the bulletproof vest.
We landed.
You landed. Now we come down to the physical world. He says, make sure that the sisiyot that you're wearing are kasher. Make sure the sisit is kosher. You may ask yourself, what difference does it make? The sisit being kasher or not? So I'll explain to you. My Siddur has it, but it says as follows. The Ish Masliach brings it down. The benefits of wearing, especially sisit katan. He says that the sisit katan, it helps the irat shamayim of the person. The sisit katan protects the person from anger, ayn hara, and heavenly accusations. Why? Because you are walking with God's uniform in your body. Remember the famous Gemara in Menachot, that the fellow who heard that there is a lady in a certain remote island that she charged 400 golden coins an hour, and he started to make a Western Union payment plan. Every week he sent her money, and finally, right, he comes to meet her. They are about to commit a sin, and what does the sisit do when he's undressing? Smack him on the head. He woke up and ran away. The sisit saves. That's what the Ish Masliyah says. So I think that the behind Palachi is hinting us one more thing. Let's talk about the Talet Gadol. I mentioned this to someone the other day. The importance of the Talet Gadol surrounding our body. Many times when a person wears the Talet, they wear it as a scarf, like this, heke. They put like a scarf, okay? But technically speaking, that way the mitzvah is not fulfilled. The sisit needs to cover our body. What's the spiritual gift of the talet? The Ben Ish Chai says, or makif. There is a godly light that surrounds the body of the person, especially during the time that we wear the talet. But if you remember a few months ago, we also mentioned that every instant of the day that a person wears sisit katan, you are continuously doing a mitzvah. The question is, a mitzvah from the Torah or a mitzvah from the Hachamim? I'm going to say something to you that may sound exaggerated. You have a cell phone here? Get me a calculator, please, on your cell phone. I'm going to say something that to many people, this may sound extreme. But this is the reality. Thank you so much. We have the mitzvah of sisit. You know what the Gemara writes? Masechet Avodah Zara. Kol Zahir Besisit. A person that is careful with the mitzvah of sisit. Atid. When Mashiach comes, he will have 2,800 people waiting to serve you. 2,800 servants. No W2, no W9, no 1040, no payroll taxes. They will be waiting to serve us. That's what the Gemara says. Check it out. How do we get there? It says very simple. You have four corners of the sisit. You have 70 nations of the world. We have 70 times 4, 280. And then you're going to have 10 per nation. That's 2,800. That's how we reach that magic number. But this was a free sample. Be ready for the next one. We wear the sisit. Ideally, let's start from the top and then we go lower. Ideally, the sisit katan should be on top of our body all day long. That's top, including the moment of the mitzvah as we learned yesterday. You bring it to the back. Those who were here yesterday, remember that class. But let's say that you keep it only 12 hours a day. During the daytime, because daytime is time of sisit, nighttime is not. But Hakam Obadiah Yosef, the Ben Ish Chai and others says, sleep with the sisit. Why? Because it protects your body from night accidents and it adds shamayim to the person. Okay? Now, but let's go on the 12-hour day time of sisit. I know the ladies are saying, Rabbi, you're talking too much about the men. What about us? So I'm going to give the ladies homework and a mitzvah to do related to sisit. And a mitzvah to do related to the mitzvah between husband and wife. So stay tuned. So, we have 12 hours daytime. How many minutes an hour has? 60. How many seconds an hour has? 60. And how many hours a daytime has?
24.
But we're going to do daytime only. So we're going to do 60 times 60 times 12, 43,200 mitzvot you do all day that your sisit is on you. And this is only calculating one mitzvah, 1 second. If I do 60 minutes, 60 seconds, 12 hours, for those that want to watch it, how did I get to this number? Okay? 43,200 mitzvot. From the Torah or from the Hachamim, debatable. If you use sisit that has wool and wool, is from the Torah. If you use cotton and wool, it's midrabanan. But you know what? I'm okay with the Rabbanan too. I personally wear wool, but many people could find it a bit challenging. But in Florida, this is the same Shulchan Aruch. We may have different weather, but it's the same Torah, the same halakha. So, doesn't matter. For some people, we happy if they wear sisit katan made out of cotton. This is only, again, 60 minutes, every 60 seconds in a minute, 12 hours. This is only 12. But if I do 24, like we do, I don't wear the sisit when I'm in the restroom or I'm taking a shower. So give me a discount, 1 hour a day, I don't wear it. Collective. So I have 23 hours, but I'm going to make it double. I can do 86,400 mitzvot. Now, what I'm going to say now, you may call me extremist, exaggerated, it doesn't make any sense. But how many mitzvot is the mitzvah of sisit equals to? How much? 26,481,600 mitzvot. A day.
26 million?
Yes, multiply the 43,000 times 613.
Wow.
Again, what I'm saying now, it may sound crazy or exaggerated. What I'm trying to say is that we cannot minimize the value of a mitzvah. And that's why he says here, so understand, if the value of the mitzvah is so heavy, imagine the value of the avon, especially nefashot. Now you understand why I need to get a heavyweight mitzvah to counterattack a heavyweight avon. After this being said, I'm not exaggerating. So I'm going to remind myself, by the way, this number is only 12 hours.
Yeah, but I thought the mitzvah was only in the morning, daytime. So we're going to give it the equal.
Listen, I follow Chacham Obadiah Yosef and the Ben Ish Chai. He says, sleep with it. I want it at Shamayim. Okay, so sleep with it. And a kippah too, by the way. Of course. That's why if you go to Mekor in Brooklyn, they sell kippot to sleep with. Sure.
Yeah.
A kippah that doesn't move. Rabotai, I don't know which shul you go to, where you live, but I'm telling you what we learn here. Sleeping with a kippah, sleeping with a sisit, it helps the Yirat Shamayim of the person. Well, when a person goes to sleep, you don't need to have Yirat Shamayim? Why there are halachot of how to sleep? Don't sleep on your stomach, don't sleep on your back, lean on the left, then to the right, say Shema before we go to sleep. Why all these halachot of how do you sleep make a difference? All these statements that I just mentioned are fences to avoid accidents during the night. Night accidents. So guess what? I'm calling in the reinforcements. Kippah and sisi. That's it. I'm not telling you that whoever sleeps without sisit or without kippah is doing wrong. I like extra bonuses. I like extra curriculum activities. So that's the answer to your question. Look at beautiful number, 52 million. It's not the mega ball or the power money or the lottery.
I'll take it in dollars any day.
Okay, so go
Daily.
play. See who is playing today 52 million.
Daily.
Buy a ticket and then we'll talk. We need to split it. Anyways,
That's daily.
okay? Yes.
Times it 9,000.
That's true. That's true. But you know what? If I'm going to say that, we're going to start flying. And I'm going to get phone calls from Brooklyn and deal. Rabbi, what are you making crazy my kahal? You're making my work more hard. You know what? Rabbis in Brooklyn, New York, if coming here, you told me when I started, Rabbi, make sure that our kahal doesn't fall down in Florida. Because Florida is a place of a lot of nisyanot. We agree on that?
Yes.
The weather is beautiful, but the Yetzer Hara is very active in Florida. Alive and well, especially in this topic. So we need to be careful. I'm going to say one more. I owe something to the ladies. Remember I said to the ladies? Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop now. And Be'ezat Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue for the things that we need to do. Small things that benefit. I'm going to explain that tomorrow, Belineder, but I'm going to speak to the wonderful ladies now. So the ladies are listening to 51 minutes of the Rasha. Listen, this rabbi is talking about the men, about the men, about the men, about the men. What about us? So the short answer is that ladies carry a huge responsibility in their home at all levels, in the holiness of the home, in the Yirat Shamayim of the home, in the kashrut of the home, in the example with the kids. The wife is the home, like it or not. You may be paying the rent or the mortgage, you may be the provider of the home, but never fall on that assumption that you are the provider of the home. You may be God's shaliach to be the provider of the home. But the beracha of the home, it comes in the zechut of the wife. All that being said, that's why David HaMelech calls the wife Akeret HaBayit, the foundation of the home. Akeret HaBayit means the ikar, the backbone of the home, the pillar of the home, the foundation of the home. It doesn't matter what furniture you have. If the foundation is good, beautiful. And if the foundation is not good, has the shalom, it doesn't matter what kind of furniture you have. So we need to depart from that. That being said, when it comes to the topic of family purity, it's a team effort. The husband and the wife, keeping a distance, respecting the boundaries of physical uncleanliness until the wife goes to the mikveh. The husband supports the wife, and the wife supports the husband. Because it has the shalom, God forbid, a wife does not go to the mikveh when she needs to go, no, when she passed her age. When she needs to go, that creates a very serious halachic matter. Because halachically speaking, from the Torah, husband and wife, that the wife does not go to the mikveh, cannot be together. I'm sorry to say such a strong statement, and I don't know who is watching or who is listening, but enough for those that are here in this room. This is the basic concept of the Torah. Be'elisha betuman nidata lo tikrav. Now, somebody may be listening to what I'm saying, and then the person may say, Uli, so what do I need to do? My wife does not go to the mikveh. What do I do? And we're talking about that the wife needs to go to the mikveh due to age. So first, you should speak to a rabbi and have the rabbi or his wife talk to a wife explaining the beauty of family purity. And when I say the word beauty, I mean it. Even though some men say, oh, it's too difficult, I need to hold myself 2 weeks, 12 days. But you need to understand that this distance between husband and wife during the period of Midah, it actually creates an emotional excitement when she needs to go and come back from the mikveh. But in a family relationship that husband and wife are constantly together, that is missing. So that's one idea. So the husband needs to encourage the wife, And the wife needs to also follow the traditions that we have. So what happens now? These questions was asked to me in one of Ask the Rabbi class, the monthly class that we had in the past, Ask the Rabbi. And one question was, a lady that went to the mikveh only one time in her life. One time. Before she got married. She got married, never went to the mikveh, had kids, children. Now, whatever age they have, she's still young, but obviously menopause, and the husband is young. So what does she need to do now? She is nida. Even though that she is in menopause, the only way to remove nida is to go to the mikveh. So in that case, the short answer is, she needs to go to the mikveh one time. One time. So next time that she's with the husband, she is tahara. You follow me?
Forever.
Forever. That's it. Because she no longer needs to go to the mikveh. She cannot conceive children. She needs to do the 7 clean days and then goes to the mikveh and one-time deal. Otherwise, if they continue being together every time they do it, is a transgression from the Torah. Even she's menopause, because she's nida from the first week of marriage or the first night. You understand? So there is tikkun. There are ways of correcting. Obviously, praying for forgiveness. Many times people didn't do things because they didn't know. Not because they didn't want, but with the years, and I'm sure this is happening all over the world, that there is an unbelievable awareness of Torah. So this is an area where the wife also can help the husband to preserve personal holiness. What about the sisiyot? Now the lady says, Rabbi, now you told my husband that is a factory of mitzvot for wearing the sisit. What about us? So rule number 1, ladies don't wear sisit. Maybe they want to start. Has v'shalom. But you know how the lady becomes an equal partner to the mitzvah of sisit of the husband? I'll give you 2 suggestions. Number 1, reminding the husband to wear the sisit katan under the garment. That's number 1. Number 2, separating the strings of the sisiyot and making sure that each corner of the sisit has 8 strings. I'm going to do a live demonstration. Don't get excited, okay? I'm going to stand up if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
This is the sisit. Okay? You see the sisit? Now, Baruch Hashem, these sisiyot are fairly new. So they are 8 strings. So what the wife does, it says that the wife should do this. Make sure that this knot is closed properly, and make sure that each corner has 8 strings. Because at the end of the day, since I'm talking, I hope you have no plans to go anywhere, but I'm going to go 3 minutes. Each one of these strings represents different openings of the human body. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, and 1 berit milah. These are the 8 strings of the sisit. Every one of these parts of the body that I mentioned, they need spiritual protection. Be careful what you say, be careful what you listen to, be careful what you smell, be careful what you look at, and be careful with your berit milah. You understand? And the consumption of food, etc. So when the wife does this, checking the 8 strings, make sure that the strings are not tangled up. Some people, you look at them, they have the sisit, it's all tangled up. Separate them. This is how the wife becomes a partner in the mitzvah that the husband does. And guess what? The dividends that the wife gets are greater than the dividends that the husband gets. That's what's written in the holy books. Because he's able to do anything in his life spiritually, because the wife gives the husband a peace of mind. Peace of mind at home, with the children, with tahara, and all the other things that go on a regular marriage and in a regular basis. I think that at this moment I will conclude today's class. Okay? So I'd like to wish everybody to have an enjoyable day. Please relax. Anything that I said, if you have a question, feel free to speak about it privately after the conclusion of the recording. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen.